Hi, my name is Ali Maghribi and today I'm going to be talking about the timeline of Prophet Muhammad and the portrayal of some of the most common misconceptions about Islam in Western media. So today I'm going to be using the timeline of Prophet Muhammad as a defense against some of the anti-Islamic news that has been going around in Western media for a long time. And to address these problems, I will be using a couple of many morals of Prophet's life, such as morals from life of Prophet Muhammad. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and his impact on society. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and his call for tolerance. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, as a leader. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, as a human rights activist. At the year 614 Common Era and 8 years before Hijrah, Prophet was being disrespected by a woman who used to throw ashes at him from her balcony while he was walking in the streets of Mecca. Before Prophet's hijrah from Mecca to Medina and the spread of Islam, he used to get disrespected a lot from non-believers, especially from a woman living close to him. Every time he was walking under her house, she used to throw garbage and ashes at him from her balcony. One day, Prophet, peace be upon him, realized that it has been a long time since the last time he saw her. So he actually got worried for her and started to asking people and searching for her. Someone told him that she was extremely sick, so Prophet went to her house to visit her to see if she was fine or if she needed any help. That is a great example of showing how kind and forgiving he was, and how Islam is all about forgiveness and kindness. But some people who claim to be Muslim do not obey any of these and do beneficial things for themselves under the shadow of Islam. And sadly, that has had a really big effect on the image of Islam in Western countries and how they think about Muslim people. At year 622 Common Era and 1 year after Hijrah, the Prophet Muhammad completed his Hijrah or flight from Mecca to Medina to escape persecution in Medina. Muhammad set about building the followers of his religion, Islam, into an organized community and Arabian power. The Hijrah would later mark as the beginning of Muslim calendar. It was in Medina when his following and military power rapidly grew that fighting to protect themselves and the new religion was allowed. When Prophet's opponents greatly increased their persecution, his companion asked him to curse them. At this point, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, replied, I have not been sent to lay a curse upon men, but to be a blessing to them. And that is a great example of practicing tolerance toward the enemies of Islam. It's showing us that even though they were not nice to him and his followers at all, he still didn't respond to them in a same bad way, not even close. And that alone can tell us a lot about Islam and how Islam is a religion of kindness and peace, and how all the Islamic extremists are just using Islam as an excuse for their own violence. Year 632 Common Era, 10 years after Hijrah. Prophet not taking superiority over Musa. Abu Huraira narrated that once a Muslim and a Jew quarreled, and the Muslim said, by he who gave superiority to Muhammad over all people. The Jew said, by he who gave superiority to Musa over all people. Upon this, Muslim lifted his hand to slap the Jew. The Jew went to Messenger of God, peace be upon him, and informed him of all that has happened between him and the Muslim. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, do not give me superiority over Musa, or the people will fall unconsciousness on the day of execution, and I will be one of them. But I will be the first to regain consciousness and will see Musa standing and holding the side of the throne. I will not know whether he was one of those who have fallen unconsciousness and then regained consciousness before me, or if he was one of those exampled by God from falling unconsciousness. This report says a lot about the kind of peaceful life Muslims and Jews enjoyed in Medina at the time. when they were under the ruling of Prophet peace be upon him, and how Islam does not judge any religion in the world, and how everyone have the freedom to choose their own religion. And that shows us that whatever we see nowadays in Western media about Muslims forcing others to change their religion is coming from uneducated extremists that just think they're Muslims. 632 Common Era, 10 years after Hijrah. During his farewell sermon, Prophet explained, "Know that every Muslim is a Muslim's brother, and that the Muslims are brethren." This is a great example to represent Islam as a good religion, in my opinion. This shows that Islam is meant to spread and promote unity, not hatred and such bad things. But sadly, what is happening in most of the Islamic countries nowadays is that some Islamic groups are standing against other Muslims. This counters the Prophet's statement and shows that these communities are not abiding by the simplest yet most important demands of Islam itself, and because of that, they are not real Muslims in heart and cannot represent the true Islamic community. And that is a really good example to show that the Western perception of Islam is only based on few Islamic groups that practice false Islam.